Blue? Why aren't you guys wearing blue then?
Yeah, where's your blue?
Wait, I got a book? No, I don't have a book.
Oh.
Thought I had a little book.
One job.
Yeah,
No
yeah.
kidding.
What a letdown already. Tune out. Turn
Oh,
let's-
no.
You haven't seen our underwear yet. You never know.
Those are blue too? He's Aquaman.
Well, welcome to the Wish Bus. And are you guys, is this your first time to the film festival, or what's the dealio?
Yeah, I mean, certainly my first time, and anyone else been here
My
before?
first time.
Yeah, I think we've,
We're all newbies.
First time.
Sydney?
Third time to this theater, though, this month, but that's another.
Oh, okay. Well, Sydney,
Not my first time.
we knew that. What I would like to know is why you're bringing all these first times.
Hey, they got to learn some way.
Oh, I guess you need.
This is our first season.
Okay.
We're on History Channel. It is a hour drama, scripted drama from Robert Zemeckis. This is our creator, David O'Leary. It is based on an actual Air Force program that studied UFOs in the 50s.
Oh, okay.
And we take real life cases. There were 12,000 cases of sightings of UFOs, 700 of which were never identified. And we have a dramatic reenactment, would you say, of the cases. We star Aidan Gillen.
Okay.
What's his partner's name?
I forget.
Who is that? This guy. Michael Malarkey.
Thank you.
Michael Malarkey.
I know it's been a long ride.
Yes, exactly. Michael Harney as well. And we're Tuesday nights, 10 o'clock on History Channel. You can find us on iTunes. You can find us
And
on...
joining me is still, I know, I've said his name like a couple of times. You should know it by now. His name is Sydney.
Oh.
Just in case you guys are just tuning in right now, and he will be helping me. Well, I guess I'm more inputting my questions while he's asking his own.
Haskell. Yes. Yeah, it stuttered. You stuttered.
No, I said that on purpose.
She got jokes.
So, good friend. I wonder how many good friends you
I
have.
love it. A few.
Eavesdropping, sort of, not really.
Yeah.
But for the wishers who do not know you, please give them a little bit of background information.
All right, my name is Haskell Jackson. Born and raised in the beautiful Los Angeles, California. A native, huge Laker fan.
Hey.
Don't forget that. Went to a lot of the local schools, Crenshaw High School, went to Cal State Northridge. These are my stomping grounds. I do music. I've been in music for over 27 years.
Since, and you're 28 now?
Yeah, I'm 28 years old right now. So I've been doing music since I was, for 27 years. I started in college in 92. Started with a group called Straight Vocals that I created. It's a cappella group. And we got our first record deal with Motown. Did an album with Motown with some of the greats, Smokey Robinson, Temptations, Boyz II Men, a lot of the greats. And from there, from singing, I started writing.
Okay.
And then from writing, I started producing. And then from producing, I started developing, and then so on and so forth.
It's
So it was a journey for me.
that kind of journey?
It was that kind of journey. Yeah, well, no, it was like some
It was like
downs.
a-
It was a lot of
Tell them the real, how it
Yes.
is in the business.
it was a lot of downs because I had to, I didn't have the money to get any lessons, and I didn't really I didn't understand how to get into the business the way I wanted to.
Right.
So I had to learn everything myself and open up a manual and learn how to produce, save my money, all the little money I was getting to buy my own equipment. So it's like ground root. I just stayed faithful to it, and I kept people around me that were honest people with integrity.
Right.
And that meant everything. And I think at the end of the day, it was because God wanted me to be in the position
Definitely.
I'm in now.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So, you said you started with singing, and then
Yeah.
you started writing. Are there any that we write, like songs that are
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
the
So I'll
present?
give you some artists. So I've worked with Shaka Khan before.
Okay.
I've worked with Kanye West. I actually ran Kanye West's foundation for 6 years.
Oh, okay.
Alongside his mother, Donda West. Unfortunately, she ended up passing away. But during that time, I was able to reach thousands of kids through music and music education. So from there, Smokey Norfolk, Donnie McClurkin is one of my clients right now. It's a pretty long list. I'm very grateful to have worked with some amazing people with solid talent.
Right. I wanted to roll back just a little bit to Lon Fontaine. Just to, it's wonderful. The Temptations Hydra mic.
Lon Fontaine.
Yes.
Lon Fontaine studied the Temptations when I got him from Atlantic City, same place, and he didn't want to come, but the dancers that were with him said, Lon, this is the company that has the Temptations.
Sure.
And Lon said, you got the Temptations? I said, yeah. He said, you know what those guys need? I said, don't tell me, show me. How much you make here? He told me, I said, I'll double it.
Double it.
Come to Detroit. So he flew in. I got him an apartment, same 9 yards. Brought him to the Temps at my house. I said, okay, I want y'all to meet Lon Fontaine. And so the Temps we were very close.
Yes.
And he said, I got some ideas for you guys. And I said, great, go to work with him. And Lon came up with the microphone because he wanted to make them. Everybody does the same thing. 4 or 5 mics make the same moves. Lon said, I got it. He was a visual, very visual. He had a lot of ideas and being a dancer and a great dancer in his own right, he knew how to make that work. And he started with those guys. It was incredible.
It was absolutely dynamic. I remember when they were at the Howard Theater. That was the first time I'd ever seen that. I would get up at 8 o'clock in the morning to go on maybe 3 trains to go to the Brooklyn Fox Theater so I could sit right up against the stage so I could see those sheer socks that they had on. Temptations.
Yeah.
It was fabulous.
Yeah, I taught them to do the first Gypsy Woman. They were doing a show, and they said, what are we going to do? I said, we're going to do this Gypsy Woman number, and you're going to dance on this. That's when they first started doing the choreography. They said, how? I said, well, I took them in my basement every night. I would leave the studio, finish my work, bring them to my house, take them downstairs. Now, you see, like I said, I saw great shows. And I said, you will have this kind of light, you will have this, blah, blah. I said, don't worry about it. You just do like I tell you.
Sure.
So it's not that I was some genius. I saw it work.
Of course.
I saw the best talent in the world performing with the best lights, the best sound. So when I came to do my job in Motown, even with the Motown Review, when I went out, I would say I would have voices singing behind the stage.
Of course.
All right? So when you heard the sound of the lead, but you'd also hear that background sound. You didn't see them, but I had everybody doing their thing.
Just tremendous.
Yeah.
Just tremendous. My hat's off. I just have to say it. You know, I've been in show business since I was a little kid. And I have to say how honored I am to have met you, to have known you all these years, and to be sitting here right now. And this book, I want everyone within my hearing to go and get a copy of The A&R Man, Motown's first A&R Man, by William Mickey Stevenson.
It's on Amazon. You can order it on Amazon.
Absolutely, Amazon.com.
And I got to say something about this wonderful lady here. Not only a great artist, but I have great expectations of her for one of my shows that she, I know, would be phenomenal.
Well, I'm there. That's some future stuff that I think I'm really, really excited about the possibilities. So I thank you so much for doing this with me today. It's just my pleasure. Suse Green, this is Mr. William Mickey Stevenson, and I thank you for sitting down with me on Speak Your Piece. And hey, it's a wonderful world. Thank you so much.
Welcome to Cielo Cielo Santo, the true mountain luxury living and lifestyle you've been looking for.
As you will see, this isn't your ordinary property. This lavish double villa estate, designed by renowned architect David Harris, built with excellent materials and craftsmanship, includes a gourmet kitchen with wolf ranges and ovens, vaulted ceilings over gathering areas, multiple fireplaces, 19 bedrooms and 18 bathrooms, with interior furnishings included. Gated on 20 2/3 acres, barbecue areas, and custom chandeliers, covered walkways, covered hot tub, and a private trout pond for fishing, 2 saunas, and a steam room, indoor swimming pool, 16-seat theater, and an indoor waterfall. All of this with scenic mountain views.
Under the sacred sky of Cielo Santo, adventure is at your doorstep.
Skiing close by at Bryan Head Resort and Bryce Canyon National Park, hiking and bicycling. There's also equestrian facilities for horseback riding. This 6-stall barn has a 3-bedroom and 2-bath caretaker living quarters above. An ATV is included for plenty of outdoor adventures. Panguitch Lake is located less than a mile away. This estate is perfect for families and corporate events. Located between Las Vegas and Salt Lake City, with St. George International Airport 1.5 hours away.
This is the lifestyle at Cielo Santo. Thank you for joining. This is Heather Schultz with Engel and Volkers.
We have Sydney here
Oh.
to help me with our interview.
Yes.
Now, Sydney,
Yes.
I hear you're very familiar with our next guest.
I don't know.
So
that.
I'm gonna let you take the reins now.
That guy happens to be born in September.
Do you remember?
I don't remember.
I don't remember either.
He might have did something on Sunday morning.
It was Monday.
Was it Monday? Well, we got the lovely person. His name, by no other, but Sheldon Reynolds, formerly of Earth, Wind, and
Hello, welcome to the Wish Bus.
Is that where we are?
Fire. Is that right?
This is a cool bus. I gotta tell you that much.
Well, thank you. I did not design it. That's
I
why
thought
it's
you
cool
did.
like this.
I want to speak to the designer.
We're at the right place,
This is the killer place.
the Raw Science Film Festival,
Downtown.
where we got some designers right inside.
Rock and roll.
There we go, to the soul.
And have you been to the Raw Science Film Festival before?
No, this is the first.
So this is another first.
Another virgin.
Sydney.
Oh, can't say that on radio.
Oops.
Oh, yeah,
No.
you can.
We dolphin laughed it out.
Oh, dolphin.
Yeah, dolphin laughed. We're gonna keep it musical here.
This is his first time. We'll just say that.
Okay, so it.
PC, right?
Right.
Well, since it is your first time, was there anything you were expecting out of the film festival? Were you expecting to see something in general or specifically?
Well, I have a great desire to write music for films and TV. So I
Okay.
would love to meet somebody who I can do that with. And make a joyful noise that hits the world and makes a film sound great.
Definitely.
And in terms of just the whole musical aspect of your whole career, what was one of the I don't want to say hardships, but what was one of the struggles you had, or one of the things as a musician that you felt was very difficult, something you think was a little hard to overcome?
Well, I mean, in the music business, if you're in it long enough, you got a lot of roller coasters.
Right.
There's a whole bunch of them. So to name one we'd be here all night. But the thing you have to do is you have to keep an attitude and belief in yourself that even through the dark times, what you are doing is right. If you believe it and you execute it and keep doing it for the love of music or the love of film or whatever you're choosing to do, don't do it for the money, because the money will come and go. It's quicker leaving than going and coming. But if you believe in yourself and you believe in God and my faith, you will override all the roller coasters.
How have you dealt with that with that group of people? Because definitely you do have fans, that's for sure.
Right.
And there will also definitely be haters, and some may turn into fans, so you'll need to look for more haters. You don't have to look for them. They just come. They just come.
My thing is, I look at it like this. Say it with one word: ignore. Because, I mean, if you're worried about every hater that comes out, you'll never get anything done. And I tend to be pretty busy, so I don't have time to worry about the haters. Because even when I was growing up, there were haters in high school, and haters in junior high and college, and first bands, and there's always a hater.
Always.
You know, and if that's how they spend their energy, then they can spend it alone, as far as I'm concerned.
We don't have time.
So that is the catchphrase we have. We don't got time for you guys. There you go.
Talk to the hand.
I would say, how does the Science Festival compare to the music business? How does science compare to music?
Well, if I can say this right, I've been thinking of it for a few days. Both science and music involve waves, and you know about that.
Yes.
So I wonder, I just put this out there, I wonder if the same waves that are coming from the light sources through the universe and coming through the sounds that we hear are what help us make these songs that come across the waves that like we're listening to now. Because, I mean, you think about it, the waves are going through the whole universe. And we don't know what makes us write these hit songs and stuff like that. But it could be just the right waves coming in at the right time.
Yeah, you got that frequency.
Yeah.
The heart frequency.
Then you have, do you remember?
There it is.
You know.
Go ahead.
That's it.
That's it?
That's all I know.
Oh, no, that's a tease.
Well, I mean, that's all he remembers.
Oh.
That's all I remember.
Do you remember?
I'm old.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm so glad to be here with you. Finally.
Yes, finally.
We got it done.
Yes.
That's
yes,
good.
Yes. It's just so much to talk about.
I know.
I mean, just knowing how you are and the things you accomplish, I'm very proud of you.
Thank you.
Very proud of you. And I know that you have so many people that you could be an awesome role model to.
Oh, well, I hope.
Yeah, you are.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank
especially people wanting to follow in your footsteps, doing acting, singing, things of that nature. And you coming from Chi-Town, all the way on the south side of Chi-Town.
South side.
What was that like coming out here to follow your dreams?
Well, I started doing community theater in Chicago as a teenager, and always wanted to be in show business, but it was like my secret.
Yeah.
And of course, when you tell a Negro family that this is what you want to do, they're not very happy about that.
Yes, I know, because I know that your father wasn't really pleased with you
he was
doing
not.
that. And that's another thing I want to talk about. What is that like when you know that that's something in your spirit that you know that you're called to do, but then you have that obstacle right here in the way, because that's your father, you're supposed to obey our parents,
Exactly.
And so how was that when you know in your heart that this is what you want to do, and he said, no, this is not what you want to do,
Well, I was very obstinate, and so that was a big thing between us. That was a big battle between us. But his mother encouraged me, and my mother's cousins and people encouraged me on the quiet. They said, "Baby, you got something in you. You need to pursue that." And so I pursued that. So I excelled very well in art and in music, and I sang in the choir from the time I was 7. And that's the thing that made me happy. It's like I hated going to choir rehearsal, but once I got there and we started singing, it lifted me up.
Yes.
I felt good. I felt like I felt alive. And so I was in all the school assemblies. I was always just public speaking, the whole thing. So I loved that. And unfortunately, growing up in the 60s, there was a lot of things going on. You had the whole civil rights movement. So you had Dr. King, who was very prominent and very well-spoken, erudite, Negro, educated. He was speaking and he was motivating people. And that galvanized people So, you know, young black people, young black kids growing up then, you know, when we were before people, we had a model, we had a role model to stand up straight, talk, and be intelligent and be forceful. But, you know, it's interesting because it's the content of what he was saying that motivated people. I felt very motivated by that. But it was tough not having, it's not like it is now where there's just so many resources to help young people, anybody achieve their goal, whatever it might be. There's so much help. If you want to go into the sciences, there's so much help and so many resources and so many ways to help get you to your goal as a young person. Right. From a little baby, from you know, all the way up through school and through university.
So with you following your dreams, and that's what make you happy, how did your father feel once he starts seeing you become successful? And
it was tough.
Oh, it was still tough?
It was tough.
Even though he saw doors opening for you, he was still tough?
Oh yeah, but I had to leave home. I had to leave Chicago. So I left Chicago. I got into a Broadway show in Chicago, the musical Hair, and that changed my whole life. But it was every single thing that I needed it to be. Yeah. Because I knew that I had to leave Chicago. And Chicago's a great place to grow up and a great place to get training. But if you want to conquer the world, you got to leave your home. It's like Abraham. Leave your people. Exactly. You got to leave your family and your home and your and take your cattle and your people and go on out. You know, but I knew I was headed for New York. So eventually I ended up in New York after living in Vegas for a while and working there. And when I got there, I said, this is where I need to be. And so I spent 10 years living and working there and being on Broadway. And you know, even as those goals were being attained, I still wanted more. It was almost like a high. And when it stopped, you know, I have to say, it was so euphoric. When I look back on it now, it was just so euphoric, but I was doing the thing that I wanted to do, and I was getting the training, and I was meeting incredible people. Wow. And it was always a learning experience. But it wasn't until I got to New York that I started taking dance classes again and getting involved in acting groups. But I was working. I was on Broadway.
Joining me here to help interview is Sydney. So, again, Wishers, this is Sydney.
Hey, Wishers.
And once again, we have another guest with us on the bus. I don't know if you guys know who this is, because I do know who this is. Please introduce yourself to our Wishers.
Hi, I'm Richie Honori from the group Sweet, Ballroom Blitz.
Yes.
So please tell us, what is your experience as a musician?
Well, I've been in it for many, many decades. I started off with drums, and that's what I play with Sweet. And basically, now I play guitar. I'm a songwriter, singer. I pretty much do it all. And I've played with so many different types of music, from funk with Brothers Johnson to Toto, working with Bobby Kimball to Keith Emerson from Emerson, Lake and Palmer. And now I'm in Sweet. And just music has been my life, yeah.
Do you dream music too?
I do.
Oh,
I do.
really?
In fact, I just wrote a song the other night. I just woke up out of it, and I wrote it's called Song for Mankind.
Oh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So I do dream it.
What's the genesis of that?
Well, it's about what's happening in our world, and we have to be very aware of what is happening. We have to unify as a people, because we're very divided and conquered, and there's a reason for that. So we have to learn to hold each other's hands, come together as brothers and sisters, and that's what the whole song's about.
Yeah, work together.
Yeah, work together.
Yeah, unite. I like that.
Yeah.
You got a song called Freedom, don't you?
Well, I have a rock musical which we've staged 3 times. It's called Freedom, a Rock Prophecy, and that is the topic. It's all about what's happening, about what's going on. There's certain people that suppress people, and this is about the good people coming together with the wavelength of music and how we can overcome, all the difficulties that society's having.
Right.
With music.
Right.
Definitely.
So the music.
Is the soul, the heart of the soul.
That's right.
Music.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I think you guys have a group called The Messenger. It's the Blues Messenger.
It's the Blues Messenger. So I consider myself the Blues Messenger. So it has that bluesy kind of a rock thing, but it goes into so many different kinds of things. And so we cover these issues on thebluesmessenger.com, a lot of the issues that we're addressing in the rock opera, in the band that I'm playing live, and all that. Yeah,
All right.
that's right.
I just had a question.
Yes.
So for the up-and-coming artists of this age, because it's very different from the music that my parents used to listen to, what would you like? Is there something you'd like to tell people who are aspiring to become musicians in this time, considering it's very different from how it was before, or is it not as different as we think it is?
Well, I think playing musically organically and creating it, because it's so, things have changed so much towards computers, so it's important to go back to the blues artists,
Right.
listen to where music came from, and you know, from the cotton fields all the way into, and because that was the soul. I think with a lot of the music out there today, it doesn't have the same soul, and people, there's one thing with creating music on computers, but it's also the content of what people are saying and how they're presenting it. So organically, it's very important for people to go back into our history and recreate that into society, because that's why some songs that are older really hit you in the stomach, where a lot of, not saying that there's great new music, don't get me wrong, but I would say that just listen and, you know, pack a big lunch as an artist, because it's a long road. And when you're an artist, you have to be very dedicated, and things can happen very quickly, or sometimes it doesn't.
Right.
So it's just, you go in for the right reason and the right purpose. If it's your purpose, do it.
Never give up.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, unless
do
you
you say
change your
there's like a
mind.
certain, is there like a certain point in the whole musical career when you're trying to get somewhere in the music industry? Is there a certain point where you should tell yourself, okay, I don't think this is for me? Is there a point where you should actually give up and look for a different career?
Well, there's nothing wrong with doing different careers while you're pursuing your dreams, and so it's hard to disperse your time, but you can do it, and I've done it at certain times. There's peaks and valleys when it comes to the music business.
Marathon.
And it's a marathon. It doesn't matter if you have some success and then it goes away. You're in it for the long run, and if you're an artist, a true artist, you live for that passion, and that's what separates the men from the boys, or however you want to say it. Yeah.
Yes.